Today we are going to be looking at the truth to why Fortnite was banned off Play Store. Now obviously you guys are probably just thinking, oh Mason, Fortnite was banned off Play Store because for no reason, but there must be a reason behind it. It says Fortnite is being banned from the Apple and Google app stores in one of the most high profile disputes between complaints in recent history. On the one hand, the dispute is out of hand of anybody using any of the company's productions. Customers have little say in any of these issues, and the discussion is really about how the billions of dollars generated through the App Store and distributed. On the other hand, the argument has affected Fortnite fans in the most direct way possible. They are now not able to get the game in the same way as they did before, and if this dispute continues and takes in more companions, other apps and platforms could be affected too. So that's why, guys, everyone's really worried that Fortnite will get banned on PC, but don't worry, because it's probably not going to. It says what happened. The problem began when Fortnite was offering two ways of spending money in game. Either you could go through the App Store and pay the full price, or you could do so by cutting out Apple and Google's payment system entirely, and developers Epic Games would give you a discount equivalent to the fee normally taken from the store. Such a move is forbidden on both app stores. Apple and Google both stipulate that purchases of this kind must go through the App Store, and developers pay a 30% cut on those. Soon after, Fortnite began to disappear from app stores. First, Apple removed it, and Epic Games sued. Then Google did the same, and the developers did the same too. The games are still available in some form if it has already been downloaded on an iPhone or through other app stores on Google. But the decision means that probably the biggest game in the world is no longer available on perhaps the two biggest computing platforms in the world. It is fairly clear that Epic Games knew its update would force Apple and Google to remove the app, and it is already trying to leverage the frustration of fans who are now unable to get hold of it, using the hashtag #FreeFortnite and encouraging them to make their frustrations known. What are Apple and Google's arguments? Apple and Google both argue about that buying through the App Store is safer and easier, both for developers and for customers, by allowing the two large companies to manage the transactions. Customers can check out without having to know the credit card details and being sure that their transaction is safe, and developers don't need to set themselves up with payment systems or handle complicated issues such as foreign exchange conversations. They argue that the 30% cut helps pay for the payment systems, security checks, marketing fees, and other costs associated with running the platform. What's more, Apple and Google make the operating system and run the app stores that take users to those games. The company is presumably believe they should be compensated for that. What is Epic Games' argument? Well, that this represents an unfair stranglehold on customers and Epic Games themselves, and that they are taking a step to limit to the power of the platform owners. It said in its illegal filing against Apple, for instance, that the company had become a bankrupt, seeking to control markets, block competition, and stifle innovation. They are not alone in this at all. In recent months, questions have begun to be asked Questions have begun to be asked by both regulators and other companies who use the App Store about whether Apple, Google and other platform companions are abusing the dominance of those platforms, arguing that it is not fair to customers that they have no choice about their software, where their software comes from, and it is not fair that developers have to pay up for access to their own customers. What happens now? So, it is very difficult to say. Google, Apple and Epic Games are three of the biggest companions in the world, and they have fallen out over a problem with two of the most powerful platforms in the world. What's more, where no obvious compromise position, since Apple and Google must either relent on the fees either for Epic or for anyone, or miss out on having Fortnite in their stores. Previous disputes of this kind have led to the end, when a much smaller email app called Hey complained that it was unfair that it could not encourage people to sign up and pay through its own systems. For instance, it came upon a solution with Apple wherein it would offer a free trial to iPhone users that could be later upgraded in what appeared to be a decision specially calculated so that everybody could save face. It is not clear how everyone could save face in this situation. The scale of the dispute and its zero-sum nature means that somebody is going to lose. Apple could relent and allow Epic Games to either pay less or free, or none at all, for instance, or it could just undertake a more profound change that might get it out of trouble with antitrust investigators, such as letting iPhone users install apps through their means within the App Store. On the other hand, Epic Games could relent, come back to the App Store without any change in the fee structure. Then happened in the past when it went through a public argument with Google that ended with Epic being convinced that it would, after all, to keep giving a cut of the Play Store. Okay. Or of course, nothing could happen at all. Fortnite might never return to the iPhone and only be available on Android devices through workarounds. That would be a dramatic conclusion, but perhaps the only one that would allow all three of the companions to not give up on their publicly voiced whatever it is. Whatever happens, the conclusion is not going to affect only Fortnite. Epic Games has already been supported by other companies such as Spotify and Tinder, all of whom have to give Google and Apple a cut of revenue too. Antitrust investigations are organising in the US and Europe. The Fortnite saga will almost certainly set a precedent when that will be followed closely across the world. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the truth about it. So, why has Fortnite been banned on Play Store? Now, we've just watched the video and that explains it all. That is why Fortnite is banned off Play Store, and that's the truth about it. Subscribe to the channel for more informational videos.